Our beloved 8% Hard AF Seltzer is now live in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ohio, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, and enter your city or zip to find the closest location nearest you.
We are gold for energy! Send it!
Incoming!
Put the money in the bag, man!
As I said, your paycheck is your thank you.
What's going on back there? This is awesome! Welcome to Earth! No. Who's flying the plane? Get cockpit, go! God!
Black Rifle Energy, dropping near you.
Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by OmahaSteaks.com. Yeah, welcome to Drinkin Bros, kids. Live from Phorm, Andy Frisella's finally on the show. My God, man.
You know, it's been a big dream of mine my whole life.
And you finally completed it 10 years in.
Yeah, I've been working hard.
Yeah.
And finally I called up to the big leagues.
Yeah.
Saying your prayers, eating your vitamins.
Yeah.
If your
all that,
publicist calls one more fucking time and it's just like, please get him on the goddamn show. And I'm like,
I was
look, man.
about to fire him.
Yeah.
Finally succeeded.
I was like, let me look at his numbers, dude. Let me see. Let me figure him out for a little bit. And I feel like this is your Rogan moment.
Yeah.
You know?
I just want to say, thank you to everybody that's always supported me.
The Academy.
The big man upstairs.
Yeah, dude.
Take care of everything.
The Academy.
Yeah.
Your
Betty
dogs.
Yeah, my dogs.
O.J.
Your ducks.
Simpson.
My ducks.
Yeah.
Yep.
O.J. Simpson for sure.
Casey Anthony had a lot to do with this.
Way more than people think.
A lot of people
Yeah.
have said that to us and Frank. There's so many, but in all sincerity, you're one of those guys over the last 10 years it's like, hey, dude, he's our favorite. Can you just get him on the fucking show? I'm not kidding.
And we all said, don't tell us what to fucking do.
Yeah.
I know.
The
I
reason
know
we
that's-
haven't had you on yet is because we don't like being told what to do.
We don't.
Yeah.
We
Which
don't.
is right up your alley,
Well,
too. It's kind of ironic.
For me, I've had you on my show 3 times, and it's because they tell me to quit having you on.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty smart
the
of them,
same thing.
actually. The White House disinvites me from stuff a lot, so I
They
understand.
sure do. They just the comms team just called the other day and we're like, no, we can't.
Yeah.
You're not coming anymore. We're not doing it. But for you,
Is that true?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, dude.
Well-
Just if you disagree with one thing, by the way, suddenly you're
I've noticed this.
trend.
Yeah, I've noticed you're not allowed to think critically.
Yeah.
You're not allowed
No.
to have independent thought anymore. If you criticize one side, you're the devil of their side. If you criticize the other side, you're excommunicated. And it's highly conducive to very intelligent thinking in this country.
Or it's gay.
Yeah,
Well,
one of the two.
It's that too.
One of the two.
It's
but
dumb as shit.
I think it's both.
you almost
Yeah.
have to create your own company to do what you want. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're stuck underneath everything else.
Yeah, bro, I'll tell you what, it is weird how you can't, on my show, I try to call balls and strikes, man. You know what I'm saying?
Same with us.
Yeah, I know. And it's weird. It's weird how many people will get upset for you just saying, hey, it's not that I don't like this. It's this guy. It's just, this is a bad decision.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, like there's one really good example. There's a bunch of good examples, but there's a couple that are in the news right now. We won't talk about the Elon versus Trump thing because that's still developing, but the investigation into the Biden auto pen thing is fucking pointless. It's fucking pointless. And Biden proved it yesterday by just writing a letter, allegedly. Who knows if he actually wrote it or not. But writing a letter that said, yeah, I did all that. That's the end of the case. You take that in front of any court, and as soon as the man who's being, who they said didn't do it, says he did it, it's over.
It's over.
So why the fuck are we spending political capital on this? But if you say that to people, like, oh, we need to get retribution. I'm like, maybe we need to get the country fixed before we start.
Yes, there's a lot bigger problems, and to your point, it's become like rooting for a sports team. And if you say one bad thing about the quarterback, then everybody's like, "Oh, you're not a fucking fan, then, are you?
You're not a real fan."
Yeah,
yeah.
Fuck you, dude.
You're fucking loyal.
Yeah, it's like sorry, Dak Prescott will never win a Super Bowl. There's nothing I can do about that.
Well,
all right,
that's likely true.
Yeah, it is more than likely true. I've bet on it. But with you personally, first of all, this is the most beautiful facility I've ever been in, and an absolute dream as a business. I was telling Delco earlier as we took a tour of this place, this was always my dream. In Los Angeles with a production company, we topped out at about 7,500 square feet, but just the power that it takes to keep this going and the money just to keep the lights on in a company like this per month is nuts. And you're probably sitting at, our guest was 150,000 square feet here?
Yeah, we're at 200 here.
Shit.
And then we got 188 next door, and then we got 160 over there.
God damn, dude.
So
it's beautiful. So let's start from the beginning. How did you start it? And was this ever a part of it? Or do you walk in here every day and be like, holy shit, I can't believe I've actually done this?
It's a little of both, you know. Actually, it's a little of both of those. And then the third thing is I can't believe that we're not further ahead. But no, dude, I started in nutritional supplements when I was 19 years old. Chris, my business partner, and I, we had $12,000 that we had earned from painting the stripes on parking lots. And so we were going to open a tanning salon, and that was like the thing back then, right?
Gym tan laundry,
That's
bro.
right, baby. So we couldn't afford a single tanning bed. So we're like, all right, well, we knew this guy who was doing pretty good selling supplements, and we're like, all right, let's start a supplement store. So we started this little retail supplement store back in or down in Springfield, Missouri. It's at 1709 South Campbell, and it's right next to the original Bass Pro.
Okay.
So, and dude, we basically we found a guy to rent to us for $12,000, $1,000 a month. That was all the money we had, and then we financed the build out and the inventory on credit cards, and we started a business.
Yeah.
And first day we sold $7. Second day we didn't sell shit. Third day we sold $22. Took us 8 months to have a day, over $800. Took us 5.5 years to get our second store open.
And at this point, is everything maxed out? Friends and family, all that other stuff
we never
going?
we never took $1 from anybody.
Really?
We did it all off those credit cards.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so we're still a debt-free company to this day.
It's a miracle.
Yeah. Well, that's why it took 25 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, it was just, you know, and then 2009, 2008, 2009, we started thinking about, we had this opportunity to create our own products. And so we kind of jumped when we weren't ready, and we just made it work, and you know, now here we are.
It's fucking scary, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Looking back at it, like,
you know what, dude? I don't think it's that scary when you don't have any options. You know, I think it's when you have options is when it gets scary. You know, like people play differently when they have things to lose than when they don't have anything to lose. And so for us, it was like, all right, well, this is what we got to do. And I don't remember ever being scared. But now that I look back, like you said, I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, I'm scared of shit because we're in it right now, Dan and I, with Hard AF Seltzer, and we're selling out everywhere. Yeah, it's a fucking problem, and everybody's like, hey, it must be a great problem to have. It is, and we're super grateful that everybody loves the product and all the other stuff. Problem is, if you don't keep the inventory filled, they start pulling it off the shelves. Yeah. Then they don't believe in you. Yeah. Then they got to put something else in there because they got to keep their sales going too. Yeah, and that's when it gets wild. Now, for you, when you say I didn't really have a choice in anything else, was it because you had started at 19, or you just had nothing else that was interesting in life that you wanted to do?
Well, I mean, I didn't have any other options. I mean, my other option was go dig ditches or work construction. Like, I didn't graduate from college, you know, like, and back now, you know, now college is way less important than it was, you know, back then.
Yeah, back then it was everything.
Yeah, so we're talking like, you know, we started in 99, and, you know, I would say probably until like 2012, 13, 14, if you didn't have a college degree, you didn't get looked at. So, you know, I just didn't have any other options, dude. And so we just stuck it out. And a lot of people will say, oh, well, you were so gritty and so, no, dude, like I didn't want to dig ditches.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll sell vitamins. And, it's funny because I didn't really, the first 8 to 10 years, I didn't really care about what we did. I just wanted to sell shit. But then I figured out that there was things about the business that I really started to really love. For example, like when people would come into the store, we'd talk to them for, an hour. They would leave. They'd come back in 2 months. They'd be down 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And they're fucking crying and they're so grateful. And I really loved that part of it. And when I started to figure out how much of that I loved, our philosophy sort of changed. It went from, us trying to sell things to us trying to produce that result for people. And that was a huge turning point for our business. Yeah. That was where we went from really struggling to understanding that they're here for a reason. And if we deliver on that reason, the rest of the business takes care of itself. And that was one of the biggest lessons that I learned. And it came from just, starting to care less about myself and starting to care more about what we were doing for people. And so that really stuck with us. And I think it's the core element of our DNA at this point.
Yeah, and for us, we do this thing called Drinkin' Bro of the Week at the end of every single show. The amount of people that say 75 hard, changed my life, saved my husband's life. He was overweight and got into it and everything else. Your podcast, Real AF, has changed people's lives. It's got to be wild as you keep going along, and I'm sure you've heard it so many times at this point.
Yeah,
that you still have to remember to be grateful of, like, holy shit, I because you're in it.
Yeah, dude, I almost feel like they're lying. Yeah. Like, I just feel like me, bro. Like, I'm just walking around, like, I'm still the regular dude that walks around, I've never known anything other than being me. So to me, that's just who the fuck I am. Like, I try to help people and bring them up and share my experiences. And it's not that big of a deal. And so, like, when people make it a big deal, I mean, I'm very grateful, but also still, like, I'm not used to it.
Yeah.
I'm still like, damn, dude, really? Like,
those are the best.
Yeah.
The best feedback, though, is, and it's over the years, it's gotten different the way that we receive it, because a lot of times, I'm not even kidding, I'll be ranting about fat people, and there will be people who've been watching our show for years in the comments like, hey, you talking shit about fat people made me go work out, and I'm gonna live longer now.
Well, that's because it's the fucking truth.
Yeah. And
but that's
there was one guy. Remember that guy who came up and said, "You shamed me. You fat shamed me into changing my life. Like, I had diabetes."
Look, it's not gonna work for everybody. Some people need the pat on the back and the hug, but the people that listen to the kind of shit that we do need to be yelled at. Yeah, that's just how it is.
I need to be yelled at.
Yeah,
that's how I'm motivated. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if people really do need to be coddled. I think that might be bullshit because I've never seen anybody change from being coddled. Ever.
No, I mean it's a process.
I think
right?
it's they're comfortable. It's like I just had a clip. You probably saw it go viral where it was like, I was like, bro, I was kind of ripping on fat dads.
Yep.
Did you see that shit?
Yeah.
So everybody's getting all pissed, but like, dude, the truth is, everybody else was like, no, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Like, that's what got me. And dude, you know what got me? I was 350 pounds in 2015. You know what got me in shape? The internet calling me a fat fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and dude, they were right. Like, it wasn't like they were wrong. And I feel like if we could just, if we were objectively be able to ask ourselves with criticism, hey, is this right? Is this wrong? We get a lot further.
Yeah.
And dude, this leads into what we were just talking about with politics. Like, how good or strong of a country can we have if we can't, say, hey, I don't think that's right.
Or criticize one another.
Yeah.
In the late 90s, early 2000s, the Democrats in this country were more or less anti-war, right? They were the anti-war, anti-nation building party to such a degree that Clinton started to become unpopular for the bombing campaigns and the stuff that went on in the Baltics. And George W. Bush, people forget about this, ran on a non-nation building platform. That was what he ran on in 2000. I know that seems crazy now based on what happened.
Well, he did such a great job that everybody loved it.
But that was their political positions at the time, and working class. They wanted the working class to do well. All this stuff, right? Anti-censorship, pro-civil rights, and a bunch of retards who think that men can become women infiltrated their party, and nobody on the left had the balls to say anything about it.
That's right.
They sat around and let the fucking cancer grow, and it became, by 2015, it was the party. By 2015, that was the Democratic Party, and that's why Trump won in 2016. Because everybody was a fucking retard.
That's why he won this last time.
That's exactly why.
Yeah.
So it's happening to the right now. They're trying to shut down dissent. They're not doing what the right is supposed to do, which is to be frugal and stop this goddamn debt from happening or increasing. They're not doing any of this stuff. They're getting captured by these mongoloids who keep making excuses for Hitler and shit. Like, just shut the fuck up, you edgelord twat. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are we even having these conversations?
Dude, well, I think there's a lot of reasons why. I think, number one, we have been lied to a lot in history. I think people are starting to notice that we're not getting the exact truth about every single event that's historically happened. So they feel the need to be very aggressive about how they talk about it to get, and this leans into how social media works. How does social media works? Social media works by people saying the most outrageous shit so they get likes, comments, and views, which does not create a valuable discourse about anything that we need to discuss.
No.
So if we were to say, hey, I don't know if that historical, if that's a historical fact, there might be some nuance there. You can't even have the conversation because people are they're screaming polar opposites for clicks and likes and views.
Yeah, it's
and dude, that point, I know those people think they're helping because they're saying, "Oh, I'm telling what I think is the truth." But dude, we're for this to ever get better, it has to be reasonable discourse. Reasonable.
Yeah.
We have to be able to say, okay, the goal here isn't clicks, likes, views, shares. The goal here is to rebuild the fucking country.
Get better.
And unify people under the idea of what America should be.
Yeah.
Which is what you and I fucking talk about. That's all we talk about.
every fucking day.
Every single day. And with you, we looked at the numbers the other day and read them live on air because they're going to have podcast awards at the Golden Globes this year. And they're going to look at the top 25.
Yeah.
We were going down that list. You were in the top 25
You were 18th
in
at
the
time,
entire
I believe,
world.
Yeah.
So people clearly agree with you.
Yeah.
And they want to hear what you have to say on a daily basis.
Yeah, did you get any calls from the Golden Globes?
They won't come out till December. So give them till December, maybe. But are you shocked that people want to that they care about what you want to say every single week?
Dude, yeah. Like, fuck, dude. I don't.
Only because it's you, though, not because of the message, because 80% of people agree on most things.
Yeah.
It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. They want food and shelter and security and all that bullshit, right?
And, dude, I think, I try to tell the truth and to be a voice of reason. It was funny because we just got ranked on some, fucking communist ranking system.
Yeah.
We were the furthest right and the most misinformation podcast on the internet according to these people. Further than Alex Jones, which I was like, damn.
Oh, that's not true.
We must
the
be
Chi-Coms.
We must be
Chi-Coms
doing something
revolts.
here. So, but then who do you think their number one most reliable podcast was?
Probably the New York Times.
Fucking NPR. Okay.
There you go.
So by that means, we're telling the most truth.
Yeah.
And we're the most reasonable. But I just try to, I think I try to share my experiences about success in business and life, which, I'm doing all right. Okay. And two, I try to be reasonable, bro. Like, I'm not, and I might say it in an abrasive way like you do, but it's fucking reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, we're not on here saying, my goal for this country is for it to be excellent, bro, and for people to be unified.
What's the quote?
Personal excellence is the ultimate rebellion because it's against everything they want from us.
They want you, and when I say they, I mean anybody. Just work backwards from the point to the origin, and the origin is that if somebody's trying to divide you, they're trying to conquer you, right? That's step one. And then you pay really close attention to anybody that's trying to divide you, and then pay attention to how. They want you fat, lazy. They don't want you to own anything of your own. They don't want you to have any skills, any real skills, and they don't want you to be an independent thinker. That's what they want.
1,000%.
And I don't care who they is. I don't want to hear that shit about who they is. They is anybody who wants those things for you that makes you less of a man.
People want to say it's, they want to say it's the Jews. It's not the fucking Jews, bro. It's a fucking hierarchy of elites that happen to be of all different people across the world.
And it's been going on forever.
That's right. It's no different than what's happening 500 years ago.
I've never understood the Jew thing, man.
Well,
There's so many.
It's just
fucking
easy.
people who are
It's
saying
low
it.
hanging fruit.
It's
because they're
it's not
super
even-
successful and they're involved in politics and entertainment and business everywhere. That's why.
But also there's plenty of other people that are.
Yeah.
Like, dude, it's so like, dude.
It reminds me of that Italian mob thing. Like at the height of the mafia, they had 5,000 made guys.
Yeah.
And you go find me a movie about Italians that's not about the fucking mob.
Yeah.
Ever.
The thing is,
You know what I mean?
all of us Italians like it.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
But,
Love it.
But if we were bitches, we'd cry and say it was racist.
Well, you know,
Exactly.
to be
Exactly.
Yeah.
to be fair, Joe Colombo, who our buddy plays in the Harlem
Michael
show.
Raymond James, yeah.
Michael Raymond James. Joe Colombo is the one that started the Anti-Defamation League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For Italians, so
Oh, really?
Oh,
They
yeah.
got one for Italians?
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, shit,
But
bro,
he-
sign me
You
up.
can make a little money off
Yeah,
of it,
sign me up.
Get
I'm
in.
over here getting oppressed.
I know. But one of my things is, since this is my first time here, one of my things when I first walked in was there's got to be a part of you who is so proud of this country and loves this country so much,
Bro,
because
that-
you were literally living the American
No,
dream.
that is the fucking point. That is why I care. People are like, why do you care so much? Because, bro, I started from nothing. I grew up on a fucking gravel road 5 miles away in a house that was barely 1,000 square feet that my fucking dad built himself with his own hands, okay? I watched my dad work his whole life. I watched my mom work their whole life. I learned a lot of things from being around them. I've been able to go from that to this and I'm 45 years old, okay? I started this when I was 19. So in 26 years, I've been able to do what I think most people that are entrepreneurial driven would love to do.
I can tell you this is the dream. When we
So-
walked in here, I looked at Delco and I was like, Jesus Christ, this is the dream.
Well,
here.
so, bro, and by the way, I didn't do this myself. I got an amazing fucking team. I got amazing partners. I mean, dude, everybody here is a fucking killer for real. But
but you attract that kind of shit when people know you're serious.
yes.
well, yeah, but I'm very fortunate to have that. Is what my point is.
I mean, your brother is your brother.
my brother.
You can't do anything. You can't do anything about that.
And I was lucky to be born with a brother who's smart as fuck and also very competitive. So yes, but the point of this is this. When you start out in business and you don't have any money, your first goal is to make some fucking money. And I've been making money for a long time. When I look back at these guys out here, my role in my life right now is to make sure that they get their dream. Okay. When I talk to people on my podcast and I hear all these young kids that are ambitious and they want to win, and then I look at our environment and I'm like, fuck, this isn't going the right way. I feel an obligation to stand up for that. That is why I say and do. That is the entire reason I went away from MFCEO Project to Real AF. A lot of people don't know that. I had the #1 entrepreneurial podcast on the planet for 5 years. Okay? I stopped doing that because I recognized that the soil that we're planting our entrepreneurial seeds is getting less and less fertile for these young guys to go out and build their dream.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, fuck, somebody has to say something or stand up for it. And that's what you just said. That's the entire thing for me.
Yeah.
It's not, I want people, I feel like, look, like my grandfather, my dad's biological dad was killed 6 months to the day after Normandy. He stormed Utah Beach and then he was shot. He was 20 years old. My dad was in my grandmother's womb when he came here. So he never even met my dad, all right? He never saw my dad grow up. He never saw my brother grow up. My brother played professional baseball. He never saw us build these companies. And he's fucking 20 years old, bro, okay? That man's life means something to me. And when I think of the men in this country and I think of what our obligation really is, we have to think about the men coming behind us. And we have not done a great job at that. Okay. We still, even a lot of guys in their 40s are kind of like just big kids. All right.
Yeah.
They're like living for themselves and they're trying to, and dude, I get it. They're trying to get by and this and that. But guys, we have a bigger fucking duty and obligation than just ourselves. And one of them is to these younger guys coming behind us because, dude, our fucking dads and our grandparents, they might have made some mistakes, but they were aware of that. And I'm not sure that our generation has become aware of that yet. And to me, that's a fucking problem.
But every day you get up, you can inspire greatness in someone by just giving it your all every single day.
Dude.
And if one person notices,
That's it.
Or you change one person's life, and then you go on like this. I mean, that's the first time I'm hearing this story about your dad and being 20. What do you think he would have thought of walking in here today, seeing what you guys have built?
Well, I didn't know him, so I don't know what he would have thought. I mean, but I hope he would. I hope he would
so
be proud.
unreal. Like it's so unbelievable what you've built. I think you'd just be in shock.
I hope so, man. It's just, but that's what this country's about, dude. And I would like to, I would like to think that he would look back and be like, okay, well, I died for something that mattered. And it's not just about making money because, dude, I don't think there's another company on the planet that impacts more people in a positive way than our company. And I have data to prove it. I mean, we've developed 75 Hard. We've got all these transformations. I mean, so when I say that, it's not just about, the money. It's about what we've done. We provide thousands of jobs.
Careers, though, right?
Yeah,
Careers.
not jobs. They're careers.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
it's
then
a
other
different
people
thing.
who want to be like you and say, hey, I want to start my own business.
Yeah.
I want to hire more people.
Yeah.
I want to
really
change
cool-
someone
Well,
else's lives.
that's the push-pull of life, right? So I talk about it in terms of men, especially from the combat perspective. So we don't fear death. That doesn't mean shit to me, right? But I do fear letting down my men and my family. So I put that behind me and let it chase me because I'm not going to get caught by that shit. Then I put my goals ahead of me, right? It's the push-pull of life. It works in physics all the way up to the social sphere. And in this case, I think it's a really good idea if you're trying to be hyper successful to say what you want to do out in public and hold yourself fucking accountable. And let the crowd hold you accountable as well. You know what I mean? Whether it's your family, your immediate family, or your friend groups, or the internet, or whatever the fuck it is, and refuse to fail.
Yep.
Right? Like you're going to fail.
It's not an option, bro.
You're going to fail along the way and small. You're going to lose some battles, but you can never. The only way you can lose the war is when you quit.
That's right.
Yeah.
And dude, that sounds like some cheesy Instagram shit.
I don't give a
But it's
fuck.
not. No, I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
I
say
know.
it too.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, look, fucking, where'd you get that shit? Jay Shetty? No, that's actually true.
Right.
If you fucking quit, you're out of the game. If you stay in the game, you'll win by default because everybody else will quit.
Yeah.
Like that's the.
I mean, that's the whole point of military any selection for any special operations group is to see who will quit. That's it. And why the top performers on Earth when it comes to the most manly thing you can do all go through that same ritual. Why do you think that is? Because it fucking works.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
Simple.
I'll tell you where I would have quit though. The gay stuff.
Which actual
Stuff
gay?
You were telling me you guys did.
Oh no. Well, when we're in public all the time, he likes to. Are you talking about in the military or just in general?
Just stuff you do.
Yeah.
Whenever we're in public and he's
night.
doing something weird, he'll be like, "Oh, sorry, this is my gay lover, Jeremy."
I said that to an entire flight with Southwest. We got on that because Southwest is the only nonstop here, and she was like, sir, how do you? And I was like, I'm sorry, this is my gay lover, Jeremy. He hates being touched, so I put my hands all over him because I knew he couldn't do anything on a plane because it's a federal crime, and also he's got a gun, underneath the plane. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's my gay lover, Jeremy, and we're going through some stuff. I'll sit in the back of the plane and make him really embarrassed, and I love doing that a lot. But you're not going to stop me from doing the gay stuff.
Yeah.
Two, if we have enough drinks tonight,
It's America, bro.
yeah, I mean, it might happen in front of you. So I can't guarantee you anything.
Yeah. Dude, I'll tell you where I really would quit though, for real.
What's that?
Not the gay stuff. I mean, I would probably like that.
Yeah,
a little
obviously.
bit. But the
The business stuff?
Yeah. No, dude. The sand in the crotch thing, man. Like these dudes, when you guys do all the beach shit, and you get the sand down there.
Yeah.
It's
That
not
would
sweet.
suck.
Yeah, I wasn't in the Navy or the Marine Corps, so we didn't do too much of that. Mostly our dick was in the dirt in mud. So in infantry school, you do
That
this.
feels probably pretty good.
It's not great. You do this thing called Nick at Night.
Oh, God.
And you're like low crawling under barbed wire while artillery simulations are going off in a fucking.
like in the movies.
And drill sergeants are
Yeah.
shooting 50 cows over your head and
Like
shit
live
like that.
shit?
Yeah, it sucks.
You've seen that movie with Pauly Shore, right? In the Army now?
It sucks.
It's
Well,
identical.
I don't know if it
He
always
was the
sucks.
Pauly Shore of the
Yeah.
Army. Like, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah,
in
they
the
don't-
military.
No, I heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. So if you go back and watch that movie, it's pretty much just a biopic of Dan.
Yeah.
Actually, Biodome was my biopic.
Yeah.
That's a great
lot
movie.
Of people's.
That's a great movie, by the way.
Let me ask you: was there ever a moment, besides all the cool shit? I know you get to meet celebrities and do all the fun stuff in the world. Was there ever a moment that you were by yourself, that you looked around and saw all this stuff, and you were like, "Holy shit! I'm actually kind of doing this, man."
Not really, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, I know people think that's bullshit, but to me, it's just, dude, honestly, I feel like I'm fucking behind. Like, I feel like we're so far behind where I want to be.
I told Ryan
It's
earlier.
very hard for me to to think that way, and I'm also
yeah.
afraid of thinking that way. Like, I think I've weeded that kind of thinking out of my brain because I've seen it corrupt so many people from being comfortable. They start to say, "Oh man, things are great. I'm doing it," and then like that becomes a little bit of their identity, and they lose that edge. And like, dude, I don't want to be that guy.
I had a conversation
Yeah.
with Ryan in the gym earlier as I was blasting out. I think 315. How much was I putting up Delco? 320s? Yeah, nobody can really tell, but there's video floating around the internet now that's viral, obviously. But I told Ryan, I go, every morning I wake up and I look at my emails and I feel like a fucking failure, dude.
Yeah.
Every single morning. And
I
people
think-
always ask me the same question. Was there ever one cool moment? And I go, there was, but it involved my father and not like a celebrity or
Yeah.
anything else. It was something my dad had said to me.
What'd he say?
The N-word.
Yeah, he said the
Really
N-word over and
loud,
over
too.
again.
For like 2.5
And then
hours
he
straight.
sung the new Kanye song to me, and I was like, "Oh, thanks, Dad." But like, we really do get along, and you understand me.
Yeah.
No, we were at actually a Miami Marlins game, and Hard AF Seltzer was sponsoring the game and the stadium and everything, and it was on the jumbotron for
Yeah.
the thing, and he just looks up and he just starts crying, and he's 73, 74, and he had built a company from the basements, got a little bigger into the garage,
Yeah.
got his first little warehouse, a bigger warehouse, and the multiple warehouses, things like that.
Yeah.
I didn't get any of the cool shit because he
Yeah.
came into money after college,
Yeah, yeah.
and I was like, God damn,
Yeah.
couldn't you done this a little sooner so I
Yeah,
could have
yeah.
enjoyed this and not drove a Ford Tempo? But he goes,
"You're lucky it went that way."
I know, right?
Yeah.
But he goes, you know what, man? I have my own business and have my own company. He goes, I could never dream something this big. And he goes, I'm unbelievably proud of you. And like even I'm emotional talking about it right now.
Yeah, that's
that
awesome.
was the moment. It's not a celebrity. It's not a big check or something like that. That was like the one kind of moment where I was like, okay, cool. But then again, you wake up the next morning and look at your emails, and you feel like a fucking failure every day.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest misconception about. I think a lot of people who see people doing things from the outside think like, "Oh, dude, those guys are full of themselves. They're so cocky. This, that." Look, the whole nature of being extra driven is based upon insecurity anyway. Okay, so all these high achievers, including myself, are highly insecure about certain things, and that drives them.
Yeah.
Anything that people do to an extreme is driven by usually by insecurity, at least at first, and then it can convert it into purpose.
Confidence and purpose.
That's
yeah.
right.
But you got to start there. I mean, it's
For sure.
Like it isn't. I wouldn't say it's always insecurity, but you've got to have some pathway to understand that you're not fucking special.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm going to be successful is if I crack my fucking knuckles every day.
Yeah.
I got
That's
something
the
to
only
prove
way.
to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they think it's a lot of people don't understand that, like, when you are that kind of a person, even when things are going amazing, you feel behind. You're like, fuck, dude. I should be here. I should be there.
You've got this mental checklist
Yes.
all the time that is, if one thing isn't checked, and there's always going to be something that's not checked.
Every single night I
Every
get
single
home
day.
and there's something that isn't checked. I don't sleep very well, and I'll sit there and I'll be like, fuck, man, there's 4 things that I missed today.
Yeah.
And I got to wake up and do them tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it's like you're a, I don't know, like a fucking clown spinning plates. And at some periods during the day or week, month, year, you have to decide, well, that plate's just going to hit the ground. I'm going to pick that shit up later.
Yeah.
And that's a difficult thing for type A people to do.
Yeah.
Be like, fuck, I got to fail at that now.
Yeah. I think that's a big thing a lot of driven entrepreneurs feel. And they feel like they're wrong because of it. They're like, fuck, why do I feel like I'm failing? Why do I feel... Bro, that's why you won't fail.
Right.
You're not going to fail because you feel like you're fucking failing. And it's going to keep you going. It's going to keep you moving. It's going to keep you doing what you got to do. And so I've learned over the years to not like hate that feeling anymore. And what I actually hate is when I do start to feel like I'm doing something. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm like, fuck, dude, you ain't shit.
That's the story of Narcissus, right?
I mean,
the word narcissistic comes from this Greek tragedy called Narcissus, who thought he was so pretty that he stared at his reflection in the water until he turned into fucking flowers and died.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Yeah.
We use the word narcissist like we know what it fucking means now. But
It's a
that's
buzz.
literally what it means.
Yeah.
That's literally what it means. You fall in love with the sound of your own voice or whatever. and
I
you
mean,
stop
dude,
moving.
and it's pretty hard when you're awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like when you're awesome and shit, like it's hard to be humble.
And
bro.
when you listen to a voice like mine, that's, I mean, been
It's
kissed
so
by
sexy.
God.
Yeah, bro. It's a good voice.
Just, I mean, you're born with it,
Yeah.
obviously. Maybe
That's
it's Maybelline.
Yeah, but
I don't
see, you
know.
did get you got the radio voice, but you definitely got the radio face too.
Yeah, yeah. You can stop right there. I was a beautiful man in teen movies growing up, for Christ's sake.
You know what the other part of this is, though, for people like this, for people like us specifically, is what Ray Dalio says in Principles. You have to celebrate victories from time to time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you
Yeah.
do it with cars.
Yeah.
Like, so we go over to his house, smoke cigars, maybe something else, depends
Sure.
on the day.
Crack.
But a lot of cars.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cars. He enjoys them very much.
I do.
Treat yourself, right? Like, do something for yourself from time to time. Just don't, like, sit there and smell your own farts.
Yeah, dude,
It's so
and I think
weird.
that's hard for people to do
Yeah.
sometimes.
The balance is difficult.
Yeah, dude, it is for me. I definitely balance way towards the I'm a piece of shit side than I do the I'm doing it side.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's moments, bro. I mean, like, this weekend's one of them. Like, I'm fucking business partners with Dana White, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool. You know what
Rad.
I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, that's somebody that I always looked up to in business. And
But he's the same way. I mean, I'm
he's
sure
a normal dude.
I'm sure you've had the
yeah,
conversations with him.
normal fucking guy.
I did. When
Yeah.
if you get, and I'll recommend this to anybody in the audience, if you get 5 minutes to spend with an Andy or a Dana White or somebody like that, take it, ask the questions you want to ask, and you guys will answer them.
Yeah.
And Dana was the same way. Like, he almost has the exact same identical mindset as you do, which is probably why you guys get along so well, where he's always looking at the next thing, never really celebrating anything. And, he's always pissed at something at the end of the night. Have you seen his pressers?
I think he just wants to fucking do the best he can and wants to win and doesn't want to deal with any bullshit.
yeah.
And, I think that's what we all want. It's just not everybody has the balls to fucking say it in public.
Andy, you got a podcast that's a little bigger than ours. Man, you got a massive show. You know, we got some sponsors, including you guys, that put this shit wagon on the air. First and foremost, our title sponsor, OmahaSteaks.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros gets you $35 off at checkout over there. When it comes to Father's Day, some things never change. Dads want steak. A recent survey shows 75% of Americans agree there's no better way to spend Father's Day than grilling with the family. From USDA certified tender steaks, burgers, and more, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience, guaranteed to secure your spot as Dad's favorite. Shop omahasteaks.com and give Dad the legendary Heartland quality he deserves. Plus, our listeners get an extra $35 off with the promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout. Super easy. Super convenient as well. It just gets shipped right to your house in a huge styrofoam cooler. It's got dry ice in it, and it's good in 107-degree heat down here in Texas. Damn, one of them sat out on the porch for 36 hours, and it was still good to go. Omaha Steaks makes it easy to deliver an unforgettable gift for Dad. And let's face it, is there a better dad in the world than me? Probably not. Or my dad, for Christ's sake. Shout out Jerry out there. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand cut by master butchers. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef. Has more marbling for exceptional flavor and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. The fan favorite filet mignon has earned the coveted distinction of USDA certified tender, and all new smash burgers are built for the grill. Love those smash burgers. Had them over the weekend there. As a matter of fact, Jesse, if you're listening, why don't you make some of those as well? Some steaks for the whole weekend for Father's Day for me. All right, I deserve it. Omaha Steaks has been America's original butcher since 1917. They're a family-owned company with over 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. They also carry mouth-watering burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, desserts, and easy-to-prepare comfort food. This Father's Day, give Dad the world's best steak experience with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for guaranteed perfect gifts that deliver legendary quality. And for an extra $35 off, use the promo code DrinkinBros at checkout. That is omahasteaks.com. And an extra $35 off with the promo code DrinkinBros at checkout. See site for all the beautiful details over there. Beautiful. Next up is your company, Andy. Best supplement company in the world. firstform.com/drinkinbros. Man, energy drinks are out. They're incredible. These will be out around the United States here as of today. Shit. Sign with Anheuser-Busch, man. These things will be everywhere around the world. If you have not heard of First Form, had a First Form energy drink, or any of their products, dude, well, they're going to be in your face real quickly. And God damn it, they're delicious, man. Huge fan of everything they have. Let's start with the micro factors. Can't live without these on a daily basis. Let's face it, we all don't work out the way we need to, eat the way we need to on a daily basis. However, it is important to get the proper vitamins inside of us on a daily basis. Comes in a beautiful box here, and it's all the way on the other side of the room. I'm not going to grab it, all right, because I've already taken mine today. Plus, I worked out here at First Form. Delco can attest. What was it? It was $3.25 that I got up today earlier? Yeah, $3.95 is what he's saying. I can't even keep track. Yeah, $3.95. Now, you got it right. I appreciate that. And, yeah, you got the big six in them. You got the antioxidants, the CoQ10s, the multivitamins, fruits and veggies, EFAs, and the probiotics. Their First Form protein bars are the best in the biz, in my opinion. The strawberry smash, Andy. God damn it, you knocked it out of the park with that one. Love that carrot cake as well. Peanut butter chocolate pretzel is fantastic. If you're trying to wean your kids off of candy bars at night or ice cream or whatever, highly recommend those PB&J ones. Kids love them. My kids love them as well. You guys knock it out of the park with everything you do over here. The protein powder is amazing. You got everything you could possibly think of on that website over there. And the apparel is super underrated. Also want to give you a shout out for the gift boxes and the bags you gave us on the way in here. One of the best fucking organizations I've ever been to. And if you have a chance to come up here to First Form headquarters, highly recommend it. These guys are the best doing it in the business today. Head on over to firstform.com/drinkinbros today. As always, you're going to get free shipping on orders over $75. And that is First Form spelled with a 1. There's one ST, PHORM, firstform.com/drinkinbros. Sorry, I get nervous in front of you, Andy. All right? Man, don't have to usually read sponsors in front of people, okay? Next up is MyBookie.com. Promo code DrinkinBros doubles that first deposit all the way up to $1,000. Let's go with MyBookie here. Brand new odds up for everyone across the board, all right? For the NFL, they're coming at you. That Aaron Rodgers potential signing, which is now a signing, could be a signing, might be a signing, whatever. It's changing all the NFL teams across the board there. If you believe in your team, the odds have changed drastically across the NFL. Now is the time to bet on them. Am I betting on the Atlanta Falcons? Absolutely not, because they're fucking losers, okay? They're absolute fucking losers. I'm not betting on them, but the Eagles' odds just got better, for Christ's sakes, and that team has only improved. So, yeah, if you're out there and you're trying to get better odds than that, fire away. College football odds are also up. including that Texas-Ohio State game. Those odds are up as well. Almost every single odd for all the college Week 0 and Week 1 games are up, as well as college championship odds, Heisman Trophy odds are up there for all the players as well. And the NBA playoffs are in full swing, the championship, as well as the Stanley Cup Finals. Lost last night on the Panthers in OT. That one hurt a little bit, okay? That one stung, but I'm looking to get back in the game over the weekend here. Go to Drinkin Bros Sports, private group on Facebook where I post all of my bets before all of the games. I've been on fucking fire this year. Jesus Christ, man. I've had a great 12 months, for Christ's sakes. Hoping to continue that here. And again, you can follow all of our bets over there on Drinkin Bros Sports. I post all of my bets from MyBookie over on there. Head on over to MyBookie.com today. Enter that promo code Drinkin Bros to double that first deposits all the way up to $1,000. And by the way, if you're a day one homie, they do rakebacks. So if you lose, they give you some money back over there, which is fun. And they respect the hustle over there. Love those guys. And their live casino is second to none, in my opinion. Check out Delco Dan and Hot Bob's Friday Night Blackjack show on Drinkin Bros Sports on YouTube and now Spotify on video there. Best in the fucking biz, dude. You're playing real dealers from around the world, whether it's blackjack, poker, or roulette. You're actually going against real casinos, dude, and then they'll swap out the dealers and everything else. You're not going against a fucking cartoon or a goddamn avatar. Last but not least is our own hardafseltzer.com. Click on the store locator, enter your city or zip, and it'll take you to the closest location nearest you. All right, D'Anthony and I just had dinner last night with our COO. We are making 27,000 cases this month. That is 55,000 12-packs. It's almost hard to believe. Those are getting made in the month of June. All of those tall boys will be going out the first week of August for college football season around the nation. Green apple, blue raspberry, and then the Penn State cans, which will be available all throughout the state of Pennsylvania as well. We're in all the Albertsons in Idaho, all the HEBs and Market Streets down there in Texas. Every Total Wine pretty much nationally at this point in all the 12 states that we're in. And again, just a quick reminder, some of the smaller distributors that we were with, we are swapping out. And we were with bigger distributors to meet the demands. And as of last night, the meeting last night, we'll be all caught up here by 4th of July. And we'll be in a really good spot here for the fall. The demand has been insane. We appreciate the support. Ever since we switched those flavors over to Liquid Jolly Ranchers, it has been a game changer for us. And there's no carbs, no sugars, completely natural. And you'll probably see us in Whole Foods soon as well. We're having a discussion with them about tall boys as well as HEB. Go to hardafseltzer.com today. Support us and support the show by buying a 12-pack. Can you enjoy vacation, by the way?
I've been on one vacation since I had a honeymoon in 2013.
I have. Does your wife hate you? Because we're the same. We went one vacation after we got married and have not been on another one since.
Yeah.
Where'd
you go?
We went to the Bahamas.
How was it?
It was great until I lost a bet.
Yeah, he lost a football bet and had to get a perm.
No, I'm talking an old school Jerry curl perm.
Yeah, like Lionel Richie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
exactly
a good
what it
look.
was. Yes. And she goes, the one vacation we're on, you look like Lionel Richie. And she goes, because the other thing was, she was like, do you think you'll be able to relax? And I go, I think so. And after, some pills and some booze, obviously I did.
Yeah.
I relaxed a little bit too much because I got cornrows done by one of those Jamaican chicks on the beach. Yeah. And then we went to a nice dinner. Oh, it looked terrific.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't great.
It was awful. And by the way, it really hurts.
Really?
Yeah, you don't think about it.
You had short hair at the time?
No, I had long hair.
Oh, okay.
So, I get a salad underneath this.
Okay.
But obviously, God forbid, we're not promoting our own products. And one of these clips goes viral, and then you look at it and you're like, motherfucker, should have been wearing the hat.
You're not going to do the broccoli hair thing?
No.
Like all these young guys?
No.
Broccoli.
I think Jay-Z looks
there's
like
probably one on
shit.
camera behind us right now.
Yeah.
No, these guys don't rock that hair.
But I think Jay-Z's broccoli, I think it looks like shit. And when you're that old, I think you can only get away with it.
No, he's talking
at a
about the
certain
Pat
age.
Mahomes broccoli haircut.
Yeah.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Mahomes is okay. That's like a perm hawks.
Yeah, that's like a perm hawk.
But
and
like
all the kids
whole
are doing it.
broccoli thing.
Yeah, it looks retarded. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, but all
I
the
mean,
kids
real
are
talk.
doing
Like when I look back at like myself in high school, though,
Oh yeah.
I was like,
we were wearing like
what an
Jinkos
idiot.
and shit.
Yeah,
that. Where are you from originally?
I'm from here.
Are you really?
Yeah, 6 miles up the road.
Yeah.
He said.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. So you never left?
No, I did leave. I left for 8 years. That's where we started the business down in Springfield, Missouri. It's about 3.5 hours away.
Yeah.
And then we moved it back up here. So
That's where the Simpsons are from, right?
yeah, I think so.
They never said
I think
which
it's-
Springfield it was.
Yeah.
They never did. Springfield, Illinois, Springfield, Missouri, and they're kind of leaving it up to you.
They're all over the place. This is Springfield, Oregon. That's
You know
where
what's
I lived
crazy
there.
about the Simpsons thing is how they predict all this shit.
Yeah.
I know.
What the fuck?
They had the best writers on the planet.
Yeah.
They always have, and they swap them out every like 3 years so they can stay fresh.
I think this is CIA op, bro.
Maybe.
So do I.
That's where Conan O'Brien came from. He went to
Yep.
Harvard, Simpsons writer, then Conan O'Brien.
All those guys. And then they went to SNL and everything afterwards.
Did you guys know that, like, I didn't know this, but I saw Candace Owens mention on The Breakfast Club that the CIA has their own, you probably know this, their own movie production.
Bluebeam?
No, I know what Bluebeam is. But they have their own budget.
Oh, Mockingbird.
No,
Mockingbird.
I know, no.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
listen.
it is.
No.
It's been going on for years.
No, Mockingbird is Bluebeam is the false invasion of aliens
Yeah.
or Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This is a I think you're thinking of MK Ultra.
No. Mockingbird is the agency in general, but more of the entire intelligence community infiltrating Hollywood and putting out shit.
Well, okay. So I didn't know that they actually funded the movies.
Oh, yeah, dude.
So, dude, if you go online, no, listen, dude, this is crazy. Every motherfucking military movie that's ever been made, every single fucking one that I've ever seen has been funded by the fucking CIA. It's on the internet.
Well, you got to recruit.
I had no idea.
You got to recruit.
Yeah, so
It's the best recruitment tool you can have.
This is what happens.
Well, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just shocked.
So the studio says, well, we want access to all this real military hardware, and the DoD says you can have it, but it's got to be the message that we want.
Yeah.
That's
the
been
trade-off.
going on for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on for a very long time.
So
Now,
that's-
the only guy who was on the other side of it was Oliver Stone because he was making super subversive shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Maybe the CIA was involved in that. Seems unlikely because he fucking hates the government, but who knows?
Who knows? Or maybe he got out of it. We're here for Summer Smash. This is obviously your biggest event. How many people are expected to be here over the course of the weekend?
dude, honestly, I have no idea.
It keeps getting bigger every year.
Yeah, it does. I think we're going to be close to 5,000 people this year, but I'm not sure. I don't even know. Like, I'm to the point now where it's like, we need you to show up there and there, and then don't show up anywhere else because you're fucking up.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, hey, and I'm sure you walk through a crowd like this, everybody wants a photo, everybody wants to shake your hand.
But that's okay. I like it. You know, it's all, you know, a lot of these people, you know, they've traveled from all over the country. They've spent their own money. I'm actually super honored that anybody would want to come hang with us.
Weird, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but it's definitely super cool. And, you know, it's a lot of conversations. But man, like, I always get done with the weekend. Like, I'm exhausted physically, but like mentally, I'm like juiced up.
Yeah, I usually don't hear from you for like a week or two after this.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're up to. I feel like you're scheming and planning that whole next week.
Yeah. It's true.
It is. I'm sure you're plotting the next thing.
Yeah.
What I would love to commend you on. I know you're super busy and you got a million interviews and all that other stuff to go the rest of the day here. But I really want to commend you on your flavoring and the quality of your bars and your supplements and the drinks themselves. I think that's what separates your supplement company from everybody else's. Over the years, the last 10 years in Drinkin' Bros, every supplement company and their mother has pitched us their products. Most of them taste like shit. I don't think people understand that if you just make something that tastes great, no matter what it is across the board, word of mouth will travel and it'll end up exploding. And your first Phorm protein bars across the board. I've never seen anybody just knock out like 12 flavors that are all incredible time after time after time. And then the new energy drinks, which are right here and will be around the nation. You guys signed with
they're out.
Anheuser-Busch,
Yeah,
correct?
I think they're in the stores today.
Today's the opening day, right?
Did you
All
try
over the
that one
nation.
yet?
It's amazing.
Fuck.
It's amazing.
Did you try the old Screaming Freedom?
I did.
How much better is that?
It is, and that's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Who is that? Your input, or was that Anheuser-Busch?
No, that was them taking what we had and evolving it 30 steps ahead. That is what they do. So it like partnering with them is super cool, bro, because one, they're a local company. So here in St. Louis, you have an aunt or an uncle or a cousin or somebody that works at AB growing up, and you would go down in the basement and they'd have, all the memorabilia and it's a big deal. There's a lot of fucking pride in that company here. And so to be from here and then have them want to partner with us and be able to do that is it's really fucking cool.
It's incredible.
Yeah. And they're the best at what they do. And they, I just feel very fortunate to be partnering with them. Honestly, they're really fucking good at what they do.
Because I don't think people understand that when you sign on with an AB, a company like that, these will be in stores around the entire nation, virtually overnight.
That's right.
And any people who don't know who Phorm is or whatever are going to find out real goddamn quick.
Yes.
And the competition, in my opinion, I just had a meeting with a guy from AB last night. We were talking about energy drinks because I take the flavoring very seriously as well. And he goes, "Can you go through and just pick out the top energy drinks?" And I go, "I can." I go, "Where do you want me to start? The ones that suck?" And he goes, "Please." And I was like, "Great." The Prime thing, I don't get. I love Logan Paul.
Yeah, I've never had one.
I think he's a great businessman, and this is no knock on him as a businessman.
I like all those dudes, and we've got a bunch of mutual friends and people that we do business with that he does business with.
We do.
I just don't like that product.
I've never had it.
Yeah.
There's a Prime conspiracy among dads. If you pick it up, because every kid wants one.
Yeah.
If you pick it up, there's only going to be one sip gone. And it's one of those things where for kids, and I've got 3, they just want to be seen with it.
Yeah.
And it's a cool thing to have.
Yeah.
They'll wash out the bottles and save the,
Yeah.
the bottles, and then that's about it. But they're not actually drinking it. Whereas this, you actually want to drink on a daily basis and crush.
I feel very strong about our flavors with the drinks.
So do I.
Yeah. I never had an energy drink ever besides Red Bull before we started developing energy drinks. So I came into it with a very non-biased palate, okay, when it comes to that. And we did the best we could with our originals.
Yeah.
We're not a drink company. You know what I mean? When I tried these, I honestly couldn't believe.
Yeah.
I was like, dude.
It took us 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
get the flavors that we wanted. 2.5 years.
And I talked to Ryan about it earlier, Wriggle, and he said you guys went through essentially 4 iterations, which is what we did as well.
Yeah.
You have your dream. You don't know if you can achieve it.
Yeah.
Because you got to taste so many different flavorings and all that other stuff. But we were going through the list last night, and I said, look, at one I got Ghost. Because I'm a candy guy.
Yeah.
So it's, I love Sour Patch Kids and all that other stuff. And that's all they're doing is just different candies. That's what we're doing with Hard AF.
Yeah.
I've got you guys at 2.
Yeah.
Right underneath it. But yours are all original flavors. You're not using candy flavors or licensing from Mars or Skittles or anything like that. Like a C4 does, for example. Yeah. And I don't really enjoy C4.
Well, the thing about those agreements is that you end up always being... first of all, they take a large part of your margin. Second of all, you're always going to be dependent on that. And if you don't create original flavors, they can eventually just say, no thanks. And I believe that is happening right now with Ghost.
Yeah.
So I don't know the ins and outs of it. I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but I heard that something like that's happening. But yeah, dude, I feel real good. And it definitely is a different flavor profile than ultra sweet, but it's drinkable.
It's drinkable. Yeah. Also, the last question I'll have here is regarding the logo. Who came up with this? Was this a team or was this you on your own coming up with Phorm? Yes.
Well, we had a different mark for a long time, and back in 2019, we started developing a new mark. And then I knew eventually we would transfer over to something new to evolve the brand. 2022-23, we got sued by Mobile Exxon for our old mark because we were using it on racing, and they basically wanted us to change the mark. And normally I'd be like, well, eat shit, we're not changing it. But we already had this other one kind of teed up, and I was like, all right, well, this would be a good time for us to switch. And honestly, it's been one of the best things we ever did. because the mark is so fucking strong.
It really stands out. Branding is everything, and like it really stands out.
It looks good on hats.
It looks good on the small of somebody's back.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, great back
Which is
tap.
where that's
where I got mine.
Yeah.
You've got a quintet of dolphins though jumping over it in a rainbow, which I
jumping
like.
through a chocolate donut.
Yeah, and then the peas underneath that, which is nice. But was that your design, or did you
Well, we had a guy. We had basically a
team?
We had a team. I know who designed it specifically, but we went through like 400 different marks, and then we voted and it went down, 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 down. And we got to that one.
Okay. That's awesome because literally everything you guys are doing across the board, like I don't think I've ever seen a company been able to knock out and just be the best in so many different things. Usually it's a drink or one supplement or one bar or one thing, and but everything you guys do across the board, not to suck your dick, has been incredible. And like every single time after the show I look at him and I'm like, God damn, how do they keep pumping this shit out and so fast? We just had those strawberry smash bars. And I was like, these motherfuckers haven't missed.
Well, dude, I appreciate that. But I mean, that's just a testament to our team and the relationships that they've built over the last, however many years, bro. Because our, like you said about the flavoring, as you guys know, to get flavoring right, it's really about relationships.
Yeah.
Which flavor house do you have relationships?
There's only a couple that are even
That are
legit.
good.
And
Yeah.
the good ones won't even take you.
No, and it took us 3 years.
Yeah,
Dude,
so,
it sucks.
So you have to know somebody, or you have to have been around, or you have to build relationships.
I mean, we got lucky because we've got such a large fan base already that we were able to show them that we're serious players, and they were like, "Okay, fine, we'll let you use our product."
But even then, they said, "Hey, you got to have 1 million cans,
yeah,
Yeah.
or we're not taking you."
Well,
Sorry.
and dude, that's we just have a really good fucking team, dude. Like really, really, they understand what we're trying to do. We have high standards. Our goal is when we put something out, we understand that it reflects on all of us, and we want to be the best. We're not trying to race to the bottom on price. Usually our stuff is at the higher price of most of our competitors, but it is what it is. You're going to pay more for better shit.
Yeah.
And everybody understands that. So
because it costs more.
That's right.
The best
Yeah.
ingredients cost more.
a lot
money.
more.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fucking a way different game. And the guys understand that, and the team understands it. And real talk, like I don't really have to do that much. They all get it at this point. You know what I mean? So I'm real proud of the work that they do. My brother is the CEO. He does a great fucking job. I get to be chairman of the board, which means like, if it makes it to me, it's usually pretty shitty.
Right.
But the rest of the time I get to talk shit in the government.
Yeah.
So it's fucking fun.
It's awesome. You're living the dream. Now's the point in the show we get to the Drinkin' Bro of the Week, which is someone who inspires you or helps you become the person you are today. Who would you like to give the Drinkin' Bro of the Week to?
It's definitely my dad. Definitely my dad. My dad is probably one of the very few people who believed in me and what I was doing, even when it fucking looked like it was never going to work. I can remember one time me having a conversation with him, like shit was really bad. Like this is back when we had one store, and I was like, fuck dude, we're not going to fucking make it. And he's like, well, you better figure out how to make it because you don't have the temperament to work for anybody else. And he said, so, I think you need to think about that as opposed to thinking about, you failing. And that was a big kind of like in a indirect way, a big boost of confidence. It was basically him telling me like, hey man, you're made for this shit.
Yeah.
Go fucking do it. And, the life lessons and the amount of things that he's taught my brother and I, and it's invaluable. And that's a big reason why I try to give so much back on the show in terms of entrepreneurial and success, because I realize how fortunate I am to have that and have had that in my life. And a lot of people don't. And so I try to really pass along a lot of the things that we've learned, and then add in the things I've learned as well. But I mean, dude, the truth of the matter is if the internet was around when he was around in his day, everybody would know him, not me. That's the truth. Because everything I say usually came from him. So.
And one of the top things that I love about you personally and your shows and your podcasts and everything else is you're willing to share the advice of how to succeed, whereas a lot of people aren't, where they're just like, figure it out on your own. Good luck. And I think there's got to be more people out there like you who are willing to help everybody else, because at the end of the day, it is the American dream.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, imagine building a device that people use to do something and then getting angry or offended or jealous that they've used your device to create something better. Well, it's no different with the skills and knowledge that you've learned.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about? This country is built on passing what
On
we
the
know on
elders,
to the next
that's
guy.
right. Every single,
Not even our country. That's how human civilization.
Yes,
You know
every
what I
single
mean?
one. And dude, we live in a time of selfishness and gatekeeping and scarcity mentality, dude. Like, I've never seen someone ever share the secrets and then have that other person come and take their shit. Like,
Yeah.
I've never, like, if anything, it builds for better friendships and stronger relationships, because now you have an ally that is very grateful for what you did. Like, dude, I've got friends that are much younger than me, like 10, 15 years younger, that are in different areas of business that I don't understand. But because I've helped them, they're willing to help me back now. So I'm able to, like, okay, fuck, I don't know this shit. A lot of you young guys know, teach me. And they're like, bro, I got you. It's this, and that's the reciprocal nature of giving, in my opinion. I think when you give, you get. And when you hold back, you don't get anything. And I think a lot of people, Dan, really fuck that up, dude.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to help them. They can't figure out why. Well, it's because who have you helped?
Yeah.
What have you done? So yeah, bro, I appreciate that. I take a lot of pride in that. I feel like, we could take away the money, success from any of us, the material shit. But dude, what's really going to matter is the impact that we leave. For most people, it's going to be their kids. I don't have any fucking kids, so I got to, be relevant somehow, I guess. And, I just think I think we all need to do a better job of realizing that we are the men now, and we have to set the standard now, and we have to teach these younger guys the right and the wrong way to do it. And I don't know. I don't know. I feel like that's the right way to do things.
I think every man's goal should be to become immortal. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. One is by passing your genetics on into the future, right? Another way is to pass your legacy on into the future and the things that you build that help other people.
Yeah. Because I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of people that grow up and who create amazing, successful businesses and help change the world. And they're going to say, Andy was one of the driving forces behind it. I'm telling you, you've been one of the top 5 asked on this show for the last 10 years. Finally. You've been on the show, and I appreciate it. And if you want to take the opportunity to finally come out of the closet, it's a great place to do it.
Yeah,
You were debating it?
I was, but I'm not. I'm still
Not ready, yeah.
Okay.
Still hanging on,
All right. Well, look,
He'll-
we'll play
he'll-
some Queen at dinner tonight,
Yeah.
and then
Maybe it'll
and
come
then
out.
figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out
And then
after
you can
that.
share your truth with the audience.
Yeah, my truth.
Yeah, your truth. Yeah.
We appreciate you tuning in, kids. Go to iTunes, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to Spotify. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. And if you want the best supplements on the planet, go to firstform.com/Drinkin Bros today. For D'Anthony Holloway, Andy Frisella, I'm Ross Patterson. This is the Drinkin Bros podcast. Good night, everyone.